Got a quick video here today on cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is the state of tension that occurs whenever a person holds two cognitions, an idea, attitude, belief, or opinions that are psychologically inconsistent. I'm reading this book. It's called Mistakes Were Made, but not by me. Why we justify beliefs and bad decisions. Like, for example, such as smoking is a dumb thing to do because it could kill me, and I smoke 2 packs a day. So, you know smoking is bad, yet you smoke. That's cognitive dissonance. And you have these two ideas, and you're trying to figure out how to manage it, because the reality is you can't. You're just not going to let that allow in your head. And if you do, it's a problem, or it can be a problem. One of the things that you have to think about too is eating shit like shit, right? Because we all eat like shit to some degree every so often. And we have ways of, we eat a bunch of pizza, ice cream, and then we know what we're doing is bad, but we have this, again, competing idea. I need to eat healthy, but this is only fat people eat like this, right? Only unhealthy people eat like this, yet you're eating like this. So that means you're fat and unhealthy, right? And that's the trouble. Like, you consider yourself fat and unhealthy. It's actually pretty tough if you believe that. Dissonance produces mental discomfort that ranges from minor pangs to deep anguish. So minor pangs would probably be food. That's really small, right? Should I decide to eat the spinach or the ice cream? Right? That just sounds like a no-brainer. Why would you eat the freaking ice cream? Why would you eat the spinach? That's gross. People don't rest easy until they find a way to reduce it, right? So this is actually pretty good. I'll highlight this here. People don't rest easy until they find a way to reduce it, right? So think about some times where you feel uncomfortable with yourself, or maybe you're arguing with a significant other, arguing with a family member, or maybe you're just battling with a decision, right? Let's say here's a good one, a stupid one. My brother bought an brand new iPad, the iPad 4 mini. And one of the things that happens when I buy an iPad or buy an iPhone or something is I will sometimes go crazy over the case. Like, I want to pick the perfect case, and it's kind of like that's sort of like people don't rest easy until they find a way to reduce it. So you feel uneasy because you have this iPad that you brought, is brand new, that you want to get scratched, but then you have the other problem of having to pick a case, and you until you can kind of scratch that itch of having the perfect case or having a case to protect your iPad, you have this uneasiness. And I'm using this simple example because it's just the first thing that came to mind. But think about that for a moment. Like, you basically have competing ideas. You want to wake up, it's a weekend, you want to wake up early, or you want to wake up, let's say it's a weekday, you want to wake up early, but you don't wake up, right? You have this kind of cognitive dissonance deciding which decision you want to make. There's the easy decision, and then there's the hard decision. There's the more comfortable decision, and then there's an uncomfortable decision. And no matter what decision you make, every decision will have some sort of dissonance in it, some sort of competing value. And whatever decision you make, you're going to justify it. And that's another term which is called confirmation bias, right? So you have this confirmation bias. So whatever you do, clearly you're a smart person. Clearly you're an effective person. So therefore, I'm going to stay in bed because it's going to allow me to rest, and it's going to allow me to work harder during the day. I don't know, something like that, right? Of course, that sounds like bullshit, but we do this in our heads. I don't think you know this. Like, I'm going to eat this ice cream. It's not that bad. You know what I mean? I'm going to have some pizza. I don't eat pizza all the time. I'll work out tomorrow. And these are actually quite oversimplified. They're actually, the things I'm talking about are more complicated than that, because there's a lot more going on in your head. There's a lot more going in our lives. And when you have this competing cognitive dissonance of two ideas that are fighting for one another, you can't help but feel uneasy. Let me continue reading a little bit here. It says here, in this example, the most direct way for a smoker to reduce dissonance is by quitting. But if she has tried to quit and failed, now she must reduce dissonance by convincing herself that smoking isn't really so harmful. So she can't quit smoking. She's having trouble because she's tried in the past. So she has to convince herself that smoking is okay. That smoking is worth the risk because it helps her relax, prevents her from gaining weight. After all, obesity is a risk too, and so on. Most smokers manage to reduce dissonance in many such ingenious, if self-deluding ways. So self-deluding. That's really what this is. Maybe this current video series I'm going to make right now it's just about how we lie to ourselves and being comfortable with it. Not that you have to fix every single lie you tell yourself, but having fun with the idea that you do in fact lie to yourself. And we need to lie to ourselves, right? Because we need to protect ourselves, right? Because we have things that we're uncomfortable with, things that we're dealing with that we don't know what to do with. We have this yuckiness of maybe we're not successful as we want, maybe our mom doesn't love us as we want, maybe our dad was terrible to us, or maybe he doesn't love us, or maybe we don't spend enough time with our kids. We have these feelings, and we have to figure out, and we lie to ourselves, like like a common one, which I've have in the past, which I've kind of have some lately, is spending time with my kids. I want to spend more time with my kids, but then I have to work. But I don't really have to work. I mean, I want to work, actually. I really, really want to work. And it's sort of that weird feeling, so I have to I justify, in a way, this is oversimplified, I justify that I need to work more because I need to take care of my family, when in fact, I don't have to work as much as I do, So it's kind of like, but see, I'll justify lying to myself, saying, look, and this is going on my head, I'm going to work. This is cool. It's going to be my thumbnail right here. This one right here. Sorry, I got distracted. So I'm going to work because I need to take care of my family, and even though I'm not spending quality time with my kids, I have this cognitive dissonance that's telling me, well, what matters is not money to my children. It's actually spending time and quality time and teaching them stuff, right? And then I have this competing idea, well, I need to save money for college, and I need to buy a new house, and I need to buy a new car, and I need to be successful, right? So I have these two things, and I'm divided. And same thing with exercise. I don't know if you have this. You have this, you need to exercise and get in shape, but then you need to work hard, and you need to do your schoolwork, right? But whatever decision you make, whether it be do the schoolwork or work out, you're going to decide, whatever you decide, you're going to justify in your mind. And that's what I mean. You're going to basically lie to yourself. I'm going to lie to myself about whatever I decide to do. It's fascinating to me, and I love it. And this is more or less the reason why I fought with my best friend, Thomas, was because I'm very good at spotting people's fucking bullshit. I really am, and I can hear it. If you're close with me, I'll call it out. And this is, I think, why people get really mad. And even me saying that could be full of shit too, because I say that to you or watching my video, but this story that I'm making up about myself can be total hogwash, right? However, the story I'm telling myself and the story I'm telling you, and the idea that I have, is that I'm very good at being honest. I'm very good at being able to tell the truth. I'm very good at being able to see people's bullshit. And the way I like to do it, and why I'm making this video, is really to make it fun. I know that sounds weird, but it's just to make it into a joke. You just make jokes of how you're a fat pig and you just don't want to exercise because you're fucking lazy, And I say that kind of stuff because even though it's mean, it's kind of mean humor. I don't say, I say it because it's what you're thinking. You know what I mean? It's what you're thinking. It's when you see someone who's overweight and fat and they don't take care of themselves and they're 100 pounds overweight, it's gross, right? But maybe you used to be fat, so like me. So you kind of feel for them, you have empathy for them, whereas maybe if you weren't fat, you'll have less empathy. I'll talk more about this, but the idea here is, look, whatever you do, you're going to lie to yourself. I think it's important that you learn how to catch yourself lying to yourself, and in the purposes of making some more videos on YouTube, and what I'm doing is learning how to consider that you are lying. Basically, consider your own doubt. Doubt yourself. Doubt yourself more. Doubt yourself in an effective way. That's the thing. Elliot Hull says, I watch his videos, Tony Robbins, all these guys that motivate me, right? And I love them, but the same token, they're so confident, and I'm just not that confident. I'm not the confident guy. I'm cynical. I'm sarcastic. I'm assholish. I'm barely inspiring, and this is authentic me. I'm just laughing because I'm fucking mean, I'm just a mean person. And I'm a mean, and to kind of settle the feeling of being mean is that I make it funny because it's uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable with how I feel about myself, or I'm uncomfortable with how I feel about other people, because these people are good people, but then I feel certain gross things about them, like someone who's overweight or fat, or personal relationships, and I just like to laugh about it because because I'm uncomfortable. Me and my wife, we get in arguments sometimes, and I will just start laughing like this. because I'm so uncomfortable. It's sort of I guess a coping mechanism. And I'll talk more about this, but leave a comment if you made it this far. I really appreciate you watching. Man, I really have this idea for a book, but I don't know. It's going to be a while before I can actually really have the chops to put it together. And that's self-doubt is a superpower. You know, being able to doubt yourself, learning how to use that doubt as a way to make better judgments. But the doubt as a way of detaching yourself away from the doubt, right? Because that's the thing I'm trying to talk about. You have to take yourself away from the doubt. Because it's okay, you could be wrong. But the problem is when you think you could be wrong, you might wrap your identity, you might wrap too much of yourself and identity into it that you're going to like say, if I'm wrong, I'm not going to do this. When you in fact have to do it. Like I made this video, right? This is take 3. Anyways, thanks for watching. Click the thumbs up button if you haven't already. I'll see you guys later.